I'm going to start with a spoiler. This camera doesn't work, but I'm still going to do a video on it because I think it's worth doing a video on it, and maybe one day I will get it working and be able to put a film for it. Sometimes you buy a camera and you're full of optimism, and then when you get to grips with the camera you find it's not quite what you hoped. And I found this Olympus 6, and the Olympus 6 was a camera launched in 1948, obviously made in Japan by Olympus. It was one of the first sort of Olympus international cameras. It's a little bit based on the similar Fortlander and Zeiss folders that were around at the time. But Olympus were noted for their lenses, even at this stage, and it has a fast 2.8 lens on it. And I think these were the slightly later Olympus 6s, sometimes referred to as the Chrome 6. So, start with some of the features of the camera. As I said, we've got this nice fast 2.8 lens. It is a Schuko lens, 7.5, so it's a good lens. There's no focusing on the front here. We set the aperture here. We set the shutter, and it's a compo shutter, and it's from 1 second to bulb to 200. So it's not the fastest of shutters, but it's fine. And now this is where I found the camera wasn't quite before me. So when you test a camera, make sure that the lens is nice and smooth. Look at the lens, is it free of fungus, all those sort of things. Then if we set the... Now, I found that the shutter did work, but the mechanism, this mechanism is a little bit flaky. You could easily press it and it didn't go off. You've got to press it in a very definite manner. So that was one thing. And I started to put a film through and I had winding on problems. And what I discovered was, and I made the situation worse, the plate wasn't correctly on, and the numbers, it was very light. This orange here, it could be fine, but to me that looked very, very light. And unfortunately the strips here had broken, so the plate, can you see it's broken there? It basically just cracked. So in order for this camera to be a working camera, I need to sort out springs on that. And plus, I don't think the winding on, it did wind on, but it seemed to slip. It's such a shame because the bellows in good condition, the lens looks lovely. So much of this camera is nice. But the thing with collecting and using classic cameras is you never quite know what you've got until you've got it home, even though when you've bought it, and this I bought from a dealer, it wasn't particularly expensive, and I did have a good look, as I said, but if you're in a hurry, you can miss things. I didn't inspect the plate a lot. I didn't inspect the numbers a lot. I was aware of the shutter, and I think I've got some money off because of the shutter. But it's still a nice camera. For the time being, I will keep it, and it will be interesting to see if I make progress with it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.